lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I am Kishara, the queen of creative inspiration, and here in this space, we create to inspire. Now, today is day 17 of our 21-day forgiveness journey, and today is all about forgiving the experiences and the perspective that we have about other people. And this journey in particular for today was very interesting because when I thought about the people or the other people in my life that I needed to forgive or that I harbored judgment or resentment towards, it was all these people who weren't really instrumental in my life. Like people that I don't even genuinely have a commitment or relationship with in any kind of way. Like people who I might have just experienced or been in the presence of one or two or a few times. I mean, it's so interesting how one act of disrespect can make us feel as though we need to judge a person for all of eternity. When we do that, all we do is allow ourselves to relive that negative emotion every time we think about it, speak about it, whatever. When we keep that situation present and we keep bringing it to surface, it's legitimately like going through that experience over again. How does that make any sense? If you felt disrespected by this individual or by this experience, why continue to relive it? Like, what is it about us as a people in general that make us harbor on to the way we perceive other people? And genuinely, most of this time, it's not even people that we even know, or people that we've seen, or people that we connected with on any level. We could be the lady at the gas station or the one person that came in to the restaurant one day that said something rude or looked at you a certain type of way. Like, how silly is all these years later still feeling like you need to judge them for something that happened that was so insignificant to either you or them? I guarantee you that person's just not sitting around like, oh, that one lady at the restaurant was so rude. Like, no, they don't care. So why? Why do we still hold on to the situation? Like, why? Why do we feel like we need to defend or protect or express ourselves? And honestly, I feel as though it's a defense mechanism. I feel like it is something that we learned and developed to feel secure and protected. Like, if you believe, because it might not even genuinely be the reality, but if you believe that you were hurt and disrespected and treated unfairly or used and manipulated and all of those negative things, then subconsciously you're always going to be in the mindset of wanting to protect yourself, not accepting any type of form of disrespect. To you, when a little insignificant situation happens where it could just be perceived as them being rude, it to you is considered the utmost disrespect. And the only person that feels that way about the situation is you. You go on and on and on throughout your life thinking this about this person that you met one time, all because you have built up these defense mechanisms inside yourself to feel like you need to protect yourself to the degree that you feel like everyone is against you. Like, it's like you're waiting for an altercation or a situation to feel as though to justify why you need to feel secure and protected and why you need to justify judging people and treating people maybe harshly, all based off of the assumption that you might have against them. Now, considering that none of us are perfect, None of us have perfect days. We all have our flaws. We all have days that are more difficult than others. If we can love and accept that and forgive that about our own selves, isn't that fair to do to other people? Like, why shouldn't we extend that same love and genuine forgiveness to you? Because it is okay to have an off day. It is okay to not always necessarily handle everything perfectly. However, it's not okay for us to judge people for doing the same. Instead of us judging them and thinking that they're automatically wrong and trying to be offensive, maybe we should look at it from the perspective of maybe they've experienced a lot today. So maybe I could try to, just say something nicely to them to hopefully just put them in a more positive state of mind. And you'll be surprised how many times you can tell that someone was frustrated, and then you get close to them and you say, oh, hey, and a compliment or something nice, and literally instantly it's like you see them light up and smile. It's like they just needed that dose of positivity, because who knows what just happened. Like, nobody is perfect. We all go through situations. Like, you don't know what just happened or what is going on with that individual that caused them to respond a certain type of way. So it's not fair for us to judge things that we aren't even 100% sure about. We don't even know why they acted and responded that way. I mean, regardless of what people think, every action is caused by something. People don't just act a certain type of way for no reason. Like, the choices that we make are for a reason, either consciously or subconsciously. And if we know that we have days that are better than other days, if we know that we're still continuing to grow, learn, and improve ourselves, then we should be able to accept that from other people too. We shouldn't be judging people when we feel like, oh, why did they say this, or why did they look at me like that, or why did they respond of that. Like, we shouldn't take it personal, because it doesn't have anything to do with us. All it has to do with what you think about. You're just holding on to thoughts that are completely insignificant and giving them extremely amount of time and attention when it's over with. It doesn't even matter how recent the situation is. If it is over, it's over. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. The more you sit and think about it and get upset and angry and frustrated, and you feel like you need to tell it and express it and explain it, the more upset you're getting. Like, you're literally reliving the same exact emotions that you felt at that time and moment. Like, how is that actually protecting ourselves? That's actually doing the opposite. That's actually hurting us emotionally and mentally. Like, that's not what we should do to protect ourselves. The number one form of protection is to genuinely love and respect and forgive people, and to ultimately treat people the way that we want to be treated. Like, that is so very true. If we treat people as if we want to be treated, nobody would ever feel disrespected. All people would feel is love and harmony and joy for being around each other, to fellowship and positivity with each other. Like, that's legitimately how life would be if all people accepted people and treated people as they would like to be treated. It's legitimately that simplistic. However, as simplistic as that is, it's actually extremely difficult, because we're human beings and we harbor emotions. And if we don't know how to release those emotions, or actually know how to genuinely express or identify those emotions, we're going to continue to get upset about them. And usually the situations that we feel disrespected or upset about aren't even because of this person. It stems from some other thought or experience that has happened, which makes you hyper defensive towards this altercation because you learned through that other experience that, red flag, this could hurt me. So let it be known that no, that's not going to happen. And in the process of doing that, we're actually just making it worse. We're not protecting ourselves. Now we're causing a situation and an altercation when it could have been a 30-minute whatever or 30-second whatever and been on and over with. Like, it's time to genuinely like sit and release the things that we've been harboring, mostly about people that genuinely you don't know, have no relationship with, but we still remember all these encounters with them. Like, literally, the people and the thoughts and the situations that came to mind when I started to answer my reflection questions for today were very surprising. Like, it was things that came to mind that I almost felt like I have, like they disappeared, like they were non-existent, until I started to sit and really think about how do I feel about other people and what caused me to think or feel that way. And like I mentioned prior, everyone responds to things for a reason. We all act a certain type of way. We all have certain behaviors and characteristics because we have learned those traits through what we have experienced. So if we have experienced negative traits, then we're going to inadvertently display those traits unless we genuinely identify those and make the decision to reject them. Otherwise, we're just going to continue to get the same outcome. So, I have been utilizing this book right here for my 21-day journey, and it is called Forgiveness: 21 Days to Forgive Everyone for Everything by Iyanla Vanzant. Now, this has been amazing. This honestly is a very hard journey, and the reason why I decided to be so vulnerable and to do this with you guys open and in the public is honestly to hold myself accountable, to actually go through with it and to actually achieve the discipline of actually doing it for the whole process of the 21 days. I did it to literally rely on myself and develop the confidence to make sure that I actually completed this journey, because this is probably my third attempt of trying to get through this 21-day forgiveness journey, which is why I wanted to authentically share it with you guys, because if it was difficult for me and if it took me needing to genuinely feel like I needed to hold myself accountable through the lens of the people that I want to inspire, then I should do that. Now, what I like about this book is that she does a prayer in before you answer the reflection journal questions for each day. So I'm going to share some of my personal answers or my personal entries to my reflection questions for today, and I'm going to read the prayer as well. So the prayer says, "Precious Lord of my life and being, it is my deepest and most heartfelt desire to be a better me today. I desire to be more of what you and who you created me to be today. I desire to create a life and relationship that complements who you are in me. Today I set my hands to do your work. I allow my heart and mind to align with your will, and I come present to each moment, allowing all possibilities to unfold in a manner that honors you. Today I release all personal judgment and complaints and embrace the beauty and goodness of every experience. I give myself permission to do things differently in a more loving way. I take authority and dominion over my old habits and patterns so that I will awaken to a new way of thinking, being, and living. I forgive all things, people, and experiences of the past. I take a few moments each hour to offer gratitude to you for allowing a better me to emerge today. I lay my weapons down. I open my heart to peace today. I rest in thee today. Let it be, and so it is. Amen. Now, woo, that actually was very powerful to even say out loud, which is why I really appreciate that she offers some prayer in regards to getting us into the right perspective, allowing us to actually have a genuine connection with God, the Creator, so that we can honestly reflect on this journey so that we will be able to release all of this subconscious, suppressed emotions that we were genuinely most likely unaware of. So the first journal or reflection that I want to share with you is I forgive myself for judging people harshly just because I believe they disrespected me. Now, I spoke about that earlier. You never know what's going on in a person's mind, heart, spirit, life. Like, you have no idea what made this person respond or react a certain way to whatever situation you felt disrespected in. And if you actually knew the circumstances, you might not would even feel that way. Like, it's time to let that go and release that. Like, if someone disrespected you one time, that means you only had an encounter with them once. Who cares? And if it's someone that is still consistent in your life, now that you know the way that they are, like, avoid it. Or do your best not to engage in it because you're already aware of it instead of just being upset and emotional about it all the time. So the next one that I want to read is I forgive myself for judging people's expression as if I know their thoughts and beliefs about me. Yes. And I feel like, honestly, we're probably all guilty of this. Like, how many times have you heard a girl like, why is she looking at me like that? Like, what's her issue? Like, what's going on with them? Like, literally, like, what is it that we're thinking about that makes us feel like, oh, they're doing something that's against us and we have to feel like we need to put a radar on to watch them just because we perceive that they had some kind of negative expression towards you, or that they were bringing some sort of negative energy or ill will towards you when you don't even know them. Like, they don't even care. They're not even aware of what you've experienced or what is even going on. And you're mad because of what you perceive to be a negative expression. When you actually say it out loud and you actually be honest and write it down and think about that, and it kind of makes you feel like you wasted a lot of time and energy focusing on things that genuinely had no impact or should not have had any impact in your life. Like, they were completely insignificant, and you hold on to these when you don't even know if they're justifiable. It's just what you thought at that moment in that time. I guarantee you that person doesn't care. They don't remember, probably. They don't even know what happened, and you're still mad about it. Like, whatever you got to do to let that go, you need to do it to let that go, because the only person that it is hurting is you. The only person that it is affecting is you. It is not affecting that person that you feel like has a negative expression towards you. They don't care. They don't even know you. You don't even know if that's what it was. So why feel like you need to judge them just because of what you thought of them? Which is actually ironic, because you're judging them by their expression, which honestly is a reflection of you, because you're judging them. You don't even know them, and you're already judging them, thinking and believing that they're already doing wrong and wishing something against you. Like, how is that fair? When you actually think about it in that sense, it actually sounds really silly. It actually sounds kind of sad. Like, we're just offending our own self. They don't even care. Like, they're probably irrelevant of exactly how much that might have affected you, like emotionally or mentally, and you're just carrying around this baggage that nobody wants to deal with. Like, nobody wants to continue to hear about what happened 5 years ago when someone was rude to you at the store, or when one of your old coworkers like took your pen or whatever. Who cares what it is? Like, it's just time to let it go. Now, the next reflection questions, and I actually want to share two more with you, is I forgive myself for believing I'm being judged about how I carry myself. And that also relates to me saying that I need to forgive the way I judge people's expression towards me. Because just because someone might look at you or glance at you or whatever towards you does not mean that they mean anything negative. They might just be looking at you because they like your outfit. They might just think that you look nice. They might just think whatever, something's interesting about you. Like, it does not mean that there's something wrong or something negative that is being happen. Like, why do I feel like just me being me is judged by other people? Like, the way I present myself, like, I went to school for fashion merchandising, so I like to dress well. I like to, I don't know, I've just always been really feminine and like to present myself in, a really kind of feminine manner. And I don't know, I feel like I've always kind of felt like, because it's different than what I'm exposed to or my experience with other women in my area that are my age, that it kind of makes me feel like I'm looked at differently, that is why I feel judged. I don't feel judged necessarily because they feel any kind of certain way about me. It's that I might feel uncomfortable in regard to just how different I am compared to the other people that I know. And to be honest, it's not even justifiable for me to even perceive that, because we don't know what they think. I don't know what they think or really how they perceive me. So why should I focus or be worried about that? All right, so the last question that I want to share with you guys is, I forgive myself for not believing that others can be trustworthy, genuine, or reliable. Now, that right there is the stem. That is the source of all of it. By me feeling like I can't trust other people, by me feeling like other people are disrespectful, by me feeling like people are not genuine, that's the reason why I judge people and have these negative perspectives of them. It's all because of this thought and this belief that's been stuck in my mind and in my heart for who knows how long. That right there is why all these insignificant situations that happen, who knows how long ago, still harbor in your heart and in your mind. It all stems from, I'm going to read it again because legitimately I realize that this is where that need to forgive other people even derives from. It's because it says, I forgive myself for not believing that others can be trustworthy, genuine, or reliable. By me feeling that way, I always feel like I need to defend myself, and I'm always on guard to the next circumstance where someone's going to hurt me in any type of way. It doesn't matter. It can be mentally, emotionally, physically. It can be related to work. It can be related to family, related to friendships, relationships. Like, literally, that belief carries on to every single area in my life. And in order to even reflect that, or even to identify that, we have to first understand what made us feel that way. What experience caused us to feel as though we needed to believe this? Because this thought just did not just come into existence just miraculously on its own. Like, we're taught to experience and to feel and to view things a certain way, even if people don't realize that what they're doing around you is causing you to believe in a certain type of way or to perceive things in a certain type of way. So I feel like ultimately, so far in this journey, I honestly feel like that's the number one thing or the number one issue in regards to me about how I view anybody. It doesn't matter if it was a person that was significant to me or if it was a person that was not significant to me. I feel like I judge subconsciously just because I feel like I can't trust them. Just because there was some sort of situation where I felt hurt or I felt taken advantage of or I felt as though I couldn't trust the person or they did something to let me down so I couldn't rely on them, or this person did something to hurt me so they were ingenuine. So all of those things, those circumstances, if we don't release them, we develop these negative beliefs that carry on into all of our relationships. Like, we're sitting around harboring all of this negative energy in regards to what we perceive other people think about us. Like, it actually makes no sense when you say it out loud. It is completely irrelevant. Like, it doesn't make any sense to really sit there and carry around this heavy, seriously, this is a heavy belief, which is the reason why I'm focusing on it so much. To really believe this about other people is completely unfair. Completely unfair. How do we know if they're trustworthy or genuine or reliable? Just because you might have had a negative experience, even if it is towards the person that you're harboring unforgiveness towards, like, you genuinely still don't know exactly what was going on in that person's mind or heart. Like, even if you feel as though they hurt you, you still might not actually know the whole story. It might actually be completely different than what you perceive. But if you just internalize it and just claim that you know that this is for fact, then you're just setting yourself up to continue to just be respected and to continue to find experiences where you feel that way so that you can justify it. That's the reason why we act and respond the way that we do. We do it based off of what we believe, what our perspective is. That affects the way we respond to everything. It all has to do with what we think. And that is so genuinely true. Seriously. Now, this is my art affirmation journal. So, when I reflect, I also like to draw, I like to create, I like to do something that kind of relaxes me and put me in a calm state of mind to where I can really focus on what I'm asking or praying and having faith to receive. Now, so because of that, for me, I take all of these affirmations extremely personally. Like, this is genuinely me stating and declaring over myself that this right here that is already promised to me is already in fruition. By me doing that, it helps me to develop the faith that I need to make the actions that I need to take in order to bring that into existence. Seriously, when it says, as a man thinketh, so is he, like, legitimately, your perspective is everything. The way you perceive things, what you believe, is what affects all areas of your life. So, this is what I created for day 17. I forgive others. And it's interesting because now that I think about it, it kind of looks like a swirl that's spinning, that's going round and round and repeating itself. And that's really what is happening if you're harboring a negative belief about how people are just in general. You're going to continue to spin around and spin around in a circle and relive over and over and over again those experiences. So it's kind of ironic that I chose to express this in that way, because that's legitimately how I interpreted that. And by me going back through and looking at all of these, it puts me back into that state of mind. And when I was creating them, it's like a reminder of, this is what I believe. This is what I can achieve. I'm going to make sure I can accomplish this. This right here is going to motivate me and keep me focused on what I know is possible and capable. So that is why this is so important to me, and I wanted to utilize this and introduce this with this 21-day journey as well. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me. If you would like to go through this journey with me, I will link this book down below, or you can just watch my videos and kind of get an idea of how this journey worked out for me, to see if it's something that would be beneficial for you at this moment. So if I blessed you or inspired you in any kind of way, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to support me and my channel, then you can do so through donation, or you can visit my Etsy store so you can see my original artwork. I genuinely love and appreciate you all, and I will see you guys tomorrow for day 18. Bye. Be blessed.